Yesterday we went for a drive to Wilson's prom and we saw all these animals, and I was going to make a video about how we went to Wilson's prom yesterday and talk about all the beautiful animals we saw, the wombats, the wallabies, the emus, echidnas, but I've started rolling tape and am immediately confronted with the fact that what I've done is I've set myself up right next to apparently a major road with a lot of trucks, and it's loud, and I'll be honest, it's upsetting me. It's distressing to hear these noises. There's so many noises, but behind me a ride-on mower, which is ubiquitous in the countryside. Regional Victoria is the home of the ride-on mower. There is always grass to mow. There's always me to fucking annoy. There's always me in a state of disbelief that this is the world we live in. If grass is so fucking good, why do we have to keep cutting it? If we have to keep cutting it, why can't we replace it with something that isn't a threat to my mental health? Okay, it's relatively quiet now. So we're driving along in this national park and we see a wallaby, a wombat, another wallaby, another wombat, another wallaby, and then a wombat with a baby wombat. I was so excited, a baby wombat, but I didn't stop the car because I wanted to leave the baby wombat be. I didn't want to be a tourist at a baby wombat, you know. I'm thinking, if I was a baby wombat, would I want fucking cowboys, fly-by-nighters, grifters and con men, people of no substance, larrikins, vagrants and hobos wandering about in my personal facial space? And of course, you know, my immediate instinct was to continue driving. The people behind us stopped their vehicle and got out of their vehicle to observe the baby wombat, and that's completely fine by me. They were overwhelmed by the cuteness of the wombat, the baby wombat, may I fucking remind you. After this point, we drove very slowly because we didn't want to run over with our vehicle any of the fucking wildlife. We're driving away slowly, and then quite shortly the people behind us caught up behind us and were on our ass for 5 minutes or so, and then eventually they must have snapped. They overtook at speed. Here's us trying to avoid running over baby wombats, and here's these people who were so overwhelmed by the sight of a baby wombat they had to stop their vehicle, get out and just have a look. Can you believe this? But 5 minutes was how long that magic lasted before they wanted to be pedal to the metal once more out there on the open road and just taking out fucking wildlife left, right and centre. You know, if you live out here in the Australian countryside, you are presented with roadkill on a fucking scale that